But we went pretty much from working, 6 days a week in construction to then just sitting there in front of a laptop. I'd really never sat behind a desk before.
Work boots off, leather shoes on.
I burnt through most of our savings in the first 6 months. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's going to be 100 different things that are going to stop you from getting it done. But if you've decided to do it and just keep following through, and it takes a bit of willpower. Exactly. I think that's what business is about, is building solid relationships.
So what do you do? Like, is it a once a week sit down, right, this is what's happening for the week? Or, 'cause, I mean, you guys are super organised from what I can see.
We are so lucky to have a great communication style.
In this season of Between the Sheets, I interview a real-life power couple in the Australian business world, Rory and Roxy McCann, co-founders of Prosper Finance, one of Australia's leading financial services companies. Together, they share their experiences of how living a structured life, coupled with discipline, has really helped them navigate the balance between creating a success in their financial services business, all whilst navigating everything that's involved with raising two beautiful kids and their beloved dog, Jessie. Rory shares what he's learned about being a man along the way and talks about how Roxy, his wife, has really supported him through all of it. Many of our audience are also in the same situation where they might work in the same business. And what we want to understand from this gorgeous couple is, how do they manage to thrive in both the commercial world and their married life? Many men chase control through work or wealth, only to lose it in their health or end up in an unhealthy relationship. Rory's story reflects how self-awareness and regimental family planning creates real freedom and the work-life balance, which so many families often fail at. Rory's not only a successful CEO, but he's also a hands-on family man who's had to figure things out with the help of his incredibly supportive wife. I'll be asking him about the early grind, the burnout, and we'll discover how he juggles all the pressures that comes with running a large financial services business while still managing to stay present for his wife and kids. Throughout this series, we'll dive into what it really takes to build wealth, maintain strong relationships, and stay grounded when life gets busy. The McCanns are here to share the lessons that they've learned from the boardroom to the bedroom. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Roxy, Rory, welcome. How you doing?
Thanks for having us, yeah.
Pleasure. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, buddy.
What's your secret is what we want to know. How do you juggle simultaneously, running a fabulous business that you have and juggling family life and, getting that balance right? That's what we want to hear about from you through these next few episodes, which we're really excited about. And what's interesting is that a lot of the men's health clinics audience are people in similar situations, And so what we want to do is really get inspired by your story and tell us perhaps some of your, the things that you've learned along the way, and perhaps our audience can get some quick wins and some sort of tips and tricks to really have a successful marriage and grow their businesses and their professional lives as well. That's what we really would like from you guys. So what is the secret, especially, and of course you're going to run through all that, but why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about perhaps the history of Prosper and when it started and how the concept came around, and go from there.
Yeah, well, thanks, James, again for having us here, mate.
Pleasure.
The first kind of bit where I got into finance, I was a builder, as you know, for about 13 years prior.
Yeah.
And at a barbecue on a Christmas Eve, I met with my sister's boyfriend at the time, and he was a mortgage broker. He also did financial planning, but mainly went into mortgage broking. I think he owns 3 Aussies now. So that was pretty interesting to see how he was kind of just had a few deals that he was wheeling and dealing with, but it was what I was about, like, getting deals done and making people happy.
Because we obviously known each other for 15 years plus.
Yeah, exactly.
When I first moved to Australia, when I met you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And came to your marriage in Fiji, which was fabulous. Was that 15 years?
I think we're 14 years.
14 years married now.
Yeah. We should know this, shouldn't we?
13,
it's been a long
14.
time.
Yeah. Who's counting? Yeah.
So married first, then then you founded Prosper a year or two into your marriage, basically, from that
Yeah,
barbecue, really, that inspiration that you had there.
That was it, yeah. So I was running a site in Glebe at the time, and I kind of was sick of missing the time with Roxy in the mornings and going for walks and things like that. So, yeah, over that Christmas
Because building,
break,
you're gone very early in the morning, aren't you? And
5:30 in the morning, get home 6:30.
often very late because
so-
you ran all the sites and everything, didn't you?
exactly,
So, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it, and I still do building for myself now, just in renovating properties and things. But yeah,
It's handy to know, isn't it, with the building game? It'd save yourself thousands, can't you?
we've just done a kitchen renovation. I did pretty much most of the plumbing and a few other bits and pieces. But yeah, it's good to know. Yeah.
So why broking and financial services? What made the shift?
Yeah, so the shift was two things. One was like a bit more freedom, like being locked into a job site, from 5 in the morning and working 7 or 6 days a week. It was just, I'd done it for 10, 12 years. So
7 days sometimes, wasn't it?
when you're finishing off a job, getting those last bits and pieces done for OC, it was a bit difficult, but
So newly married, you wanted to raise a family.
Yeah.
So you're at a bit of a crossroads there, weren't you?
exactly, yeah. So I studied the financial, the mortgage broking side of things, and by February, I think that next year, I was accredited finance broker, mortgage broker, and from there, I just started going to as many PD days and learning the trade.
What's a PD day?
Personal development day.
Professional
Right.
development.
Got it.
Professional,
Yeah.
personal. I've done lots of personal development, Tony Robbins and things, which I think is a bit of how we got to know him.
Yeah, we're going to ask who inspires you, but certainly
Yeah.
Tony's been a good guy in
That's
your
it.
lives, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, so starting that business was very different because I left school when I was 17, did my trade, my apprenticeship, and then went into finance, and I'd really never sat behind a desk before. So it was very different kind of way to live a life.
Work boots off, leather shoes on.
Exactly, yeah. And, we started in a little 2-bedroom unit renting in Balgowlah. And, that was about 11 years ago now that we started it.
11 years.
It's
is it?
been
Okay,
11 years,
right.
yeah.
Time
Well, in
flies.
about 3 months or so. So
April.
we're in our 11th year, yeah.
Right, and what's really impressed me is kind of watching you through your careers, guys. How you've gone from property to always getting better properties, but not only just on the personal side, commercially. Obviously you were always renting office space, but then you decided to buy your own commercial premises, which is amazing, and all while building a family as well. So we want to hear about all that as well. So you got into it 11 years ago. And so to start with, it was servicing your own clients, basically, was it? And finding your own clients and looking after them. And things have really changed over that period of time, because I know the business
Definitely,
model
yeah.
is slightly different now. It's all about growing and scaling the business, which
Correct.
we'll get to. But
Yeah.
from that early story, then what happened?
Yeah, so, don't know how much detail we need to go into, but we went pretty much from working 6 days a week in construction to then just sitting there in front of a laptop and, I've got to get leads in. So that was like the big kind of changing moment. Like you do all the study and everything. A lot of study, when you study things, you think that you're going to learn it in the study, but you don't. Like
It's always hands-on best, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I decided to just do it myself. I looked to get some jobs at like Aussie or with other brokerages, but I thought, you know what, I want to do this myself. So the first thing I did was actually just reach out to all my friends and family.
So once you got your license, you then
Correct.
reached out friends and family first.
Friends and family, went literally through my phone, one person at a time, just messaging them, calling them, and all my tradie friends as well, messaging them. I think I had like nearly 1,800 people in my phone from, all the different schools.
And they're all
things I've
still
been
your
to.
clients, aren't they? Which is-
Yeah, like it was eye-opening to see how much support I got, and those first 6 months were pretty tough. Definitely, if you're going to start a business, make sure you got a bit of savings behind you. I think I burnt through most of our savings in the first 6 months, and then after that, I actually had to do a little bit of hire car driving in between. So it worked perfectly. 'cause
do
I could-
whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
amazing.
I've got
right into
photos.
the grind, whatever you need to do to make ends meet. Brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah, I used to, I'd go and drop celebrities and things off to events, and then I'd just be sitting there in the car on the computer.
I think humility
doing
is
deals.
so important. There's especially in this world we live in now with social media, people sort of create this impression of themselves, and then they got a long way to fall very quickly if they're living an inauthentic life.
Yeah.
Whereas what struck me about you guys all through your lives since I've known you is that you're never too shy to get on the tools and make ends meet and fill in where you have to. And through that, you've built an incredibly successful business because you're humble, really.
Yeah, and a few failures along the way as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'd like to hear about those as well.
Yeah.
The awards, though, Roxy, I mean, some of the awards that you guys win, it's amazing. I see all that going on. Tell us about some of the awards that you've won in the business.
Yeah, so we actually fall into a couple of different awards categories, but mostly customer service for us has been a huge focus. So I think we have just on 200 5-star Google reviews,
Amazing.
which for a service-based business is actually really exceptional, because if you're selling an eyelash serum, you've got heaps of happy 18-year-olds, but we've got difficult clients that have complex scenarios who are raving fans. So we really
And they can hate you easily if not,
exactly
couldn't they?
right.
So, yeah.
And they would tell us if they
Yeah.
did. So we're really proud of that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then also Rory being Regional Broker of the Year as a finalist, I think 5 years running now. So that's
just
been...
It's a tough one. Yeah.
It's a tough one. There's just so many.
Newcastle's
5
part of it
years
too.
running.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. That really is an achievement.
Yeah,
good.
so that's what we've been focusing on. Definitely customer service as number one.
Definitely. It's a big thing for the men's health clinic as well. We want to not just look after our patients, we want to blow them away and make them happy, really happy. And
Yeah.
we change a
You guys
lot
have
of
got
lives.
1,400.
Do you know, in every country which we operate in,
Yeah.
we're either 5-star or 4.9 star. And I think on Trustpilot, we're about to go up to 4.8, which, so
Wow.
we're really proud of that with
Yeah.
thousands of reviews.
And that's difficult, right? Like you're fixing people's
difficult
lives.
because people like to moan quite quickly if they're
Yeah.
not happy. But it's about, looking after them, isn't it? And making sure that their whole journey is works and that they get out of it what they need to. So we're definitely
yeah.
dovetailed into the same thought process there. Do you need a financial background there? Obviously, you didn't have a financial background. You studied, but I mean, what do people really need to do if they want to get into this industry?
Yeah, I think you've the bits that I was really good at. I was always good at maths and working out problems. So I think you got to be a really good problem solver. One of my mottos is I've forgotten the motto. The motto is, where there's a will, there's a way.
Where there's a will,
Where
there's
there's
a
a
way.
will, there's a way. Yeah, that's it.
I thought it was
So
whatever the mind can conceive and believe the mind can achieve.
that's another one too. But yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, I think is if you want to get something done, there's going to be 100 different things that are going to stop you from getting it done. But if you've decided to do it and just keep following through, and it takes a bit of willpower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So why would somebody need to come to a broker? Is it just to get a mortgage? Is it to get a loan? What's the spectrum?
Yeah, look, mortgage broking is really, since I started, I think it was 50-something% of home loans were written through brokers, 11 years ago. Now I think it's close to 80%. I think it's 78% of loans are written there.
Through brokers rather than going
Through
directly to
brokers.
the bank.
Yeah,
Because I guess you
exactly.
guys can shop around, right?
Well, that's the whole thing. So, someone comes to me like yourself and, you've got a situation, and our job is to get your information, sort through it, and then find the best solution for that problem. So when you go to a bank, they've got their rules and regulations and what they're going to do, but that's all they've got. Where, we've got 50 plus lenders and they've all got different scopes. So sometimes it's not always about the cheapest rate. It's about, can you get the loan done? If you can get into that property that's that little bit past where, a major bank might put you, but there's a second tier lender that is going to give you that money and a little bit to renovate. We've made most of our, wealth from property, buying, renovating, and then selling it a couple of years later. That's a good way to make.
And so, being in the financial industry, there's a whole spectrum of things that obviously the people need to go to a broker for. And, the fact that you've been going well over a decade now, what I've noticed from your reviews is that, a lot of people that you can borrow them more money than other brokers and things like that. I guess because you built up great reputations with the banks and lenders. Is that what happens? Or
Yeah, it's a big part of it. If you're in the industry for a longer period of time, and also too, if you're doing greater volume, look, they want to say that it's not volume based, but it is. If you've got a broker, you as a broker, you have BDMs, which is business development managers. So their job is to try and get as many loans from you as possible. Right. So the more loans you do, it means the more you can do at other lenders and build up relationships. So with a BDM, if you're writing 10, 15, 20 million with them, then they see you as a good person and they want to give you like some extra help. So
they'll pull some strings for you.
Exactly.
Which helps the client.
Exactly, yeah. So, and you build the relationship, you talk to them more often. If you're only doing a deal here and there with someone, you're not, proximity is power, isn't it? Yeah. So if you're talking to these people all the time, then it's not that they're going to do something different to you. It's just they're going to spend more time and they see you calling and they're like, oh, I'm going to call Rory back instead of these other 5 numbers I don't know.
Yeah.
So, especially if you, build relationships with them, which is,
exactly.
I think that's what business is about, is building solid relationships and, leveraging those relationships to help yourself and your clients and obviously them as well. So it's a bit of a win-win-win.
Yeah. And your customers, are they generally looking for houses? Are they, is it a whole cross section that they come to you for basically? And is it mostly families or is it men and women or everybody basically?
We've got a diverse customer base. So when I first started, it was just about mortgages, but I really learned early on that mortgages is just one piece of finance. There's stats out there that everyone that buys a house within 6 to 12 months buys a new car. So they buy the house and then you got the car.
Really,
so,
that's what happens.
Yeah, that's it. And
got to have it on the driveway of the new house.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they buy the house and then that endorphin runs out and they're like, oh, new car. So we learned pretty early on that diversification of your income is really important as a broker. So we're a full service brokerage where we do, from personal loans for 5 or 10 grand up to, $20 million developments for commercial properties. Yeah. Being able to do car loans, personal loans, asset finance for business, cash flow loans, we can really do all the finance you need. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So running the business, running your commercial properties, scaling the business, and the entrepreneurial stuff that you guys do, which is so exciting. I really want to talk about that as well. And most importantly, raising 2 beautiful kids, Saxon and Sterling, beautiful. Real credit to you guys. They really are. So what do you do? Like, is it a once a week sit down, right? This is what's happening for the week? Or, 'cause, I mean, you guys are super organised from what I can see.
How do you do it? We used to do the
we
sit downs.
We don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
We don't. We probably should. We are so lucky to have a great communication style. We definitely have quarterly catch-ups where he and I will sit in a room, we'll do a budget, we'll do a plan for the business. We'll do the same for the home. So sometimes at the moment I'm doing a lot of the kid stuff, but there have been times where my business has been really growing and Rory's been a little bit burnt out and he's taken over the kid stuff. So let's go with quarterly catch-ups, yearly goals. Yearly goals, so that we're on the same.
Do you track and lead yourself and check in through the year?
We do,
yeah, good.
And like our goals.
Is that with spreadsheets or you write it on a whiteboard?
We've actually got it now, like for the business, we've got like a 2-story office and there's like this big glass window that looks downstairs and we've got
on the glass.
We've got our columns for loans that we want to settle in all the different types, like commercial, home loans, personal loans. We've got our Google reviews.
We cross it off so it's visually there for everyone to
celebrating
see.
The wins, I think, is a big thing.
Definitely. Well, you get what you focus on in life. And
100%.
If you're target focused to what you've written there in your plan, then you're more likely to hit it, aren't you? It's a good tip for the audience.
It is, definitely. You're visualizing your goals and having them in front of you. Like we've done that for the 15 years that we've been together.
Yeah, we find our goals so powerful that we try not to make them too big. because one time we were like, we'll put this on our board, and then we like worked so hard to get it, and we got it, and we were like, we need to stop putting those big goals and stop overreaching so that we can focus on the family. So we've had a couple of years where we've toned it down. Now we've toned it back up
I
again.
noticed that about your business. It's turn up and downable, isn't it?
It is,
right
yeah.
now you're in up mode, because I know that you're
We're in
working
up
on
mode,
the
yeah.
business more than working
I
in the
think now
business,
that
which
the
is
kids
again what
are
I'd like the audience to know.
4 and 7, we're on the upward trajectory from here on out.
Yeah.
I think when you just have a baby, it's a bit different. But now there's no excuses for us to not be just going up, and we're both excited by that. So it seems like it's feeling right for us both.
Yeah,
which is
good.
important.
Good.
Yeah.
So you set big goals. Often you hit them, which is great. But I suppose you got to aim for the moon to land in the stars, haven't you? Really? And so
Yeah,
it's,
definitely.
You know, and it's about setting big goals because you aim here, but you often land there. So I understand that. So. Great. Well, that sort of explains how sort of the business side of things. So 11 years running the business, everything you've been doing, and we're going to talk about all those different components. But what's the biggest takeaways that you've learned from there? Is there like top 3 things are absolute non-negotiables for you, like top 3 things that are non-negotiables for your relationship, and maybe 3 things that you will accept type thing?
We have decided that I'll take a more submissive role, I suppose. So Rory makes all of the decisions, but also Rory has most of the stress. Yes, I have KPIs, and yes, I try to hit them, and yes, he'll pull me up on them when I don't. But at the end of the day, it's not up to me to generate the income for our family.
I see.
So
that's on Rory's shoulders.
Rory.
Yeah.
It's not on Rory to make sure that my son Sterling's lunchbox is healthy and nutritious and that he's feeling emotionally well that day. He'll help me with it, but that's my job. So clear, set roles.
I see.
Yeah.
So do you stagger your hours during the working day? Is that a technique?
Do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
He can do whatever he needs to do, and we've decided that that's for him now. He can just do whatever he needs with his days unless I ask for help. Mm-hmm. But I work 9 till 2:50. Which is a bit of a punish, but we make it
hard,
work.
yeah.
And then I clock on again in the evenings.
So your day-to-day is, 9 till 2:50. Okay.
I know.
Exactly.
10 to 3.
Exactly 250.
And
Wow.
if you
Good
call
idea.
me at 2:51, you're going to get my voicemail. But then I'll jump on again at 7:30 and sometimes 10 o'clock.
Now that's
at night.
a well-organised person when they say
Yes.
2:50.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So tip number 1 is we have clear and concise roles. He's making the money, I'm doing the family, I've got KPIs, he helps me to stick to them.
Yeah.
So number 1. 2, I think is just
I might
like...
do 2.
Okay, go.
2 is compromise. Because, sometimes Roxy's business, it's kind of seasonal. It will come and it will go. So when there is some difficult times, I will step in and help her out, especially if I've got capacity to.
Yeah.
So I think, as much as you can have a plan, and you definitely need to have one, but at the same time, making sure that, you monitor each other and really understand what your partner's going through at different stages. Roxy's had a few, big things happen over the last couple of years, and it's just knowing when to push and when to stop and when to realize, where you're at. And sometimes it's hard if you're, working every single day and you got the kids and, in finance, it's been still good, but at the same time, when rates go from 2% to 6%, markets change. So it's been
stressful, I
tricky,
would think.
and especially when you see the market, you go in gangbusters, and then all of a sudden it just stops.
Yeah, exactly.
It's dead, and
If
because
the public hold their breath, do they get?
a
do
lot
they
of
not?
indecision.
It slows it down. Indecision. Like
Exactly.
You say,
Yeah. So you have to work harder, and there's been stressful times, and we've had some stuff happen with our daughter as well. She had to have some big operations. So again, as much as we have, I go and I make the money, you've still got to be there for your family, and a little bit of compromise and flexibility. And I think just that stopping and realizing what's going on, because everyone gets caught up. Like the biggest thing I hear now from, I'm really busy. It's like, okay, if you're really busy, how much time are you actually spending on your phone? Like, sometimes
so many people are just glued to social media.
Yeah, it's like,
aren't
I'm
they?
busy, I can't do this. It's like, man, it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes to like sit and listen to your wife and have a chat to them and actually
Be present.
eye contact, yeah. And I'm really bad with that. And for me, I've got ADD, so it's like
To the max.
To
He
the
doesn't even
max,
say how's
yeah.
your day, but like
I'm like
fine.
walking, what's for dinner? And yeah, sometimes, especially
Email,
the last,
SMS, social media,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
at once.
yeah,
And again,
I'm on the phone, like I walk in the door, like on the phone, and yeah, so I think that, yeah, like
but multitasking you're very good at, but then
Very
it's
good,
about
yeah.
carving out time for your family as well. So is there a
Pretty
time where you
much,
actually
yeah.
will turn the phones off, or what would you suggest, like advice to people that are in
Yeah,
your situation
definitely.
that maybe are struggling a little bit with the pressure and the keeping the marriage alive and all that? What would you say is
I
a
think
winning formula?
it comes and goes for me, but for something that I've really done a lot of over the last 2 years is actually just deleting social media from my phone.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
If
bit
the
of
app's not
sweet.
there, then you have to check in occasionally.
Well, you
It's-
don't realize how much you pick up your phone.
Yeah.
And it's not until you delete the app and then you pick your phone up and you're sitting there trying to look like you don't even know that you're doing it half
Yeah,
the time.
yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah.
and when the app's gone, you're like, oh, and then like a minute later, what am I doing? Like this-
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've done that a
good
lot.
tip.
Yeah, definitely.
So even even if somebody wants to keep the social media, if they remove it off their phone, then they can check in on it once a week or whenever
Yeah.
they want. It's just
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
that addiction thing. That
And
it
also,
is.
we
yeah.
have little people watching us every
Yeah.
single thing that we say and do. So even if Rory comes home and he's had a really stressful day, he's not going to dump that on me and my kids.
Yeah.
We'll save it for the next day. And then, like, a lot of that feeling will dissipate for him overnight as well. He'll be like, what was I upset
That's a
about?
really good bit of
So
advice. That's
we
something
don't-
I need to learn that.
Yeah, we're
'cause
not
sometimes
gonna
I'll
bring
bring
that.
that stuff home. Which,
I know.
Yeah.
And then with
Yeah.
a 7 and a 4-year-old, Sterling's like, what happened with what?
Yeah,
and
they're,
it's
they're
like,
so acute. Like our kids really
Smart.
listen, and sometimes the next day Sterling will say stuff. I'm like, man, you don't realize
they absorb everything.
They
Yeah.
absorb it, yeah. And Sterling's really cool. He'll actually talk to me about it, but a lot of kids would just listen to it, and it, like, personal development kind of side of things. A lot of what kids learn, your beliefs get installed by the things that are around you. So if you're always talking about, oh, there's no money, or I'm stressed, or those words really kind of resonate with
They
kids.
do, yeah.
And-
You're
and that's
brainwashing
how
them, really, aren't you? You're gonna
that's
make
how
them
they believe
You maybe
stuff,
give them
yeah.
anxiety or something
You
like
see
that.
how much ADD there is, because I think we're on the 2.
we're on 2.
three,
I'm going to
so-
bring you guys back.
Let's
don't
go
worry.
back to
We're
the 3.
high on the spectrum.
The third tip to, I
Yeah,
mean,
relationships.
like, try not to be perfect, even though we can say that we're doing a really good job, and I think that we are. You just have to, like, lean back on that deep love that you have for each other.
Have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put each other first.
Try and make her laugh.
Yeah.
She can be real cranky, and then
I
you
can.
just keep
Stress-head.
annoying her until she laughs, and then that's it. Then it's all over. Yeah, she's happy again.
Sounds a
yeah.
great tip. So what would both, let's say, if you could go back to your 20-year-old self.
We discussed this yesterday,
what,
didn't we?
what tip
Roxy's
would
like,
you...
I have no regrets.
what tip would you give our
I
audience?
am a no regrets kind of person. I really feel like I wouldn't vaccinate my kids.
Wouldn't vaccinate,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I'm
my
sure a lot of people
deepest
share that
regret.
feeling. We were let
Other
down,
than-
weren't we?
Yeah. I guess the other thing is like, I live a full and happy life. I have no regrets. So my 20-year-old self, I'd be like, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good for you, which I think would be just perfectly enough for me.
Nice. And you, Rory?
Yeah, 20-year-olds, I definitely would have told myself, buy more property. That was one thing, if I ever could go back in time, that would be it, because it doubles every 10 years, and geez, I would be worth so much more now. Not that it's all about money, but unfortunately in this day and age, money does buy freedom. Yeah. So if you want freedom, that's it.
Absolutely, and you've got a lot of people in Australia that have a lot of equity in their home just
Yeah,
by
there
owning
is.
it.
That's
That should be talking to you to buy some more property by the sound of things.
We help so many different clients. They're sitting there and they've got a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 mortgage, but they've got a $2 million property.
And they didn't realise they could do anything with it.
Well, one lady, one couple, we bought a house for them, helped them buy a investment property, $450K, not very much. That was 2.5 years ago. It's now worth $750,000. So, they said that trying to keep up the repayments were pretty hard the first year.
Wasn't it worth it for them?
Well, after the first year, we did the valuation on the property, and it had already gone up 150 grand. I'm like, so you guys put 10 grand in as kind of savings, got 3-4 grand back from the taxes, and you made 140 net,
That's
and they're like,
fantastic.
okay, we'll leave it. So, and again, that property now, 2.5 years later, now is worth 750. So
Ready for their third property then.
exactly, we're talking about it now. We're actually in it now. Like,
Great.
yeah, they're looking
So
to
people can keep
downsize
on
their
going and
house.
keep on buying. And
Well, they've realised now that I think they're going to move to Queensland, buy a house for 1.5, and maybe buy another 2 or 3 investment properties. Because if you can put your money to work, that's the best thing. Like, that's how the rich get richer. There's no secret to it. It's investing. And back to the 20-year-old thing, learn compound interest is the main thing, because compounding interest is, if it's $1 million and you add 10%, it's 1,100,000, and then the year after that, it's 1,220,000.
Exactly.
Correct me if I'm wrong with the maths, but
Yeah.
it goes up and goes up every year. It's not exactly that, because markets have peaks and troughs.
it's compounding.
But
Exactly.
it compounds over time. A lot of people think they're going to make money off property in a year or two. It's really a long game. It's good when you do, but
And another big tip, which
yeah.
I've certainly taken notice of, which I'm definitely going to be looking at, is not giving all your money to a landlord. You know what I mean? Like when renting your
Yeah.
office, if you can buy your office as well as you've done, that's so cool, guys. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. What amazing space you have there.
We love it. Yeah.
We bought that in our super fund, so we got
Did
to
you?
a point where our super, I think,
And can you
we
do
didn't have
super mortgages
much.
for people as well?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we do that too. So I think we had around 200K
when we
in
started,
there. We put a bit extra in each year as well to get to that point, and then we bought a property for 450K, renovated it with our business, because you can do that as a commercial tenant, is renovate the premises you're in.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, with your capital, your profits in your business, which is normally a
'cause
bit
it's a business
deductible.
environment.
Yeah, exactly. And
Deductible, okay.
exactly, and that property is now worth easily 700, 750. So not that you would sell and flip inside super. I think just paying it off and using that's good. But yeah, there's lots of different things you can do. So,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much. That's really interesting. Starting to unfold
Yes, yeah.
your lives and how you raising a fabulous family and an amazing
Kids,
business.
yes.
I want to go into more detail in the other episodes, but thank you so much.
Thanks, James.
Enjoyed that.
Thanks for having us.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Between the Sheets. Thanks for joining us. If you're enjoying this podcast, give it a like and subscribe so we can keep creating content you'll love. If you have questions or want to start your treatment for sexual dysfunctions, reach out to Men's Health Clinic. We offer free online consultation and provide custom treatments. Take care, everyone, and keep the conversation going between the sheets.